Wagwan everybody, Lennox here from S123 Trader. This is the weekly outlook for the currencies futures indices for the week of March 20th to 25th. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to start off tonight with a look at the US dollar. These are the index futures, and just to get an overview of where we are in the overall structure of this chart, looking like we are mired on the monthly time frame in a somewhat of a triangle type pattern here, and pushing towards the upper extremities of this with a nice opening 1-2-3 bottom here to the upside. So looking like we're heading straight back up to that side. We are at of course some resistance right here on the monthly, but we should cut through that and continue to the upside. So let's take a closer look and look at what's going to shape up for the week. So dropping to the weekly time frame. So last week's bar was a down, but this week is opened up with a little bit of a blip to the green side. So it looks like we're trying to push back to the upside. And here again, I'm seeing a 1-2-3 bottom that's taking us up to this level. We could see, some sideways movement in here before we make that move, but right now we're still in an overall strong mode. So again, looking like, yes, we are indeed going through a little bit of a rough, and again, another triangle setting up. So we could do this kind of dance in here before we go. So maybe a little bit of a struggle this week for the US dollar, but overall to the upside is the overall trajectory at this time. All right, let's take a look at gold. So let me just, before I leave that, with the US dollar moving to the upside, we would then be looking at the major US pairs, like the Aussie US dollar, the Euro US dollar, for example. We would look for that to continue to the downside based on any moves to the upside for the US dollar. So Aussie more than likely also looking to turn to the downside, perhaps, it looks at this point. And the other major US pairs, like the Japanese yen, we would look to go weak, and they are indeed quite a move down for USD JPY. So US dollar is very weak against the Japanese yen, it looks like at this point. So all right, let's take a look at the gold. So wow, that was quite the move on the Japanese yen. Gold on the weekly kind of stuck at this little area here, and looking like it wants to push to the upside. So we do have a 1-2-3 bottom. Looks like it wants to push to the upside, but we have been in quite a move to the downside overall. So it's looking a little bit suspect for that move to the upside. So a little bit of hesitation perhaps this week before another fall. Gold looking a little bit, let me just go to the 4-hour and take a closer look. And yeah, it looks overall that we should continue to the downside based on the fact that we have a 1-2-3 top at this point. That would be the trajectory to the downside overall. So a weak gold week perhaps coming up, and silver would be similar, almost identical, looking for continued moves to the downside. Okay, look at Bitcoin. We go to the weekly on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been struggling, and you can see that it's been, and the reason why it's struggling is that we're inside again another channel, and just chopping up and down in this channel. and we're moving back to the upside of this channel, but it looks like it's going to be short-lived and we'll be coming back down again. So maybe a little bit of strength going starting the week off, but after that, more than likely, continued move to the downside is in the cards for Bitcoin. That would be the same for Ethereum and Dogecoin. Looking for continued moves to the downside overall. Okay, let's take a look at the Dow, and we've had quite a move to the downside, but in the last couple of weeks we've had a pushback, and you can see that we're pushing very strongly to the upside, but we reached a critical point where it looks like we might be turning back, at least in the short term anyways. So I'm just going to go to the 4-hour just to take a closer look, and so we've had quite a move to the upside, but at this point here we could see some weakness coming in, although it is possible for us to break one more time, just to break that high, and after that then we'd have that weakness. So that's what I kind of think is going to happen, a little bit of strength into the first tomorrow, for instance, and then further weakness coming in after that. Okay, let's take a look at the S&P 500, and you can see it's almost identical chart. I'm just going to go to the daily on that, and same type of thing, big push to the upside, and on the 4-hour looking like, if I drop to the hourly, I can further explain what I'm seeing. So we've had quite a climb to this level, but we can see we're sort of sliding sideways, and I would expect one more move to break this high before we come back down. That's totally possible. If not, then we're not going to break the high, and we'll just continue down, but it looks more likely that we will break that high first. So a little bit of strength to start the week off. Let's take a look at the technology group. The technology has been really pushing the markets this week. You can see that big gap push up on Friday. That's on the daily. 4-hour, big push to the upside. So again, if I drop to the hourly, it's looking like we should get one final push to break this high, and then maybe we'll be turning back to the downside after that. All right, and let's see, anything else we can look at? We looked at most everything, and the DAX. Take a quick look at the DAX on the weekly. DAX had quite a fall, came back down to a support area, and is now pushing back to the upside with some strength, but it looks like this is going to be perhaps a short-lived move to the upside. So on the daily, big drop, pushing to the upside, lots of strength right now going into this week. So it looks like we're going to continue strong, at least in the short term, maybe push back up to this area before we start coming back down again. So that's a look at what's setting up for this week. If you're a 123 member, keep your eye on the US dollar if you're playing the majors. Profitable trading to everyone. But done now. Thank you.